Hey friends, in today's video, I'm gonna teach you, in my opinion and experience, the easiest way to make a turn on rollerblades, eventually stop, and regain control. I used to teach rollerblading at a roller rink, and during the lessons, they would divide the rink up on the short side, and I would drill my beginner kids back and forth the short side of the rink. My kiddos like to kind of go fast, and they weren't very strong stoppers. And one thing that I learned from this is the way that they just naturally would go super fast, get to the end of the rink, and then do these big, wide turns. They would go. So I started to call it a monster turn because it requires a really big, wide turn radius, and it's a little scary because they're usually out of control and don't know how to stop, and they just make these really big, fast turns. The technical name for it is actually an A-frame turn. So today's video, I'm giving you the step-by-step of how to learn an A-frame turn. The secret to an A-frame turn, or monster turn, it's all about weight transfer. We're gonna practice our weight transfer from a standstill, and I'm just gonna practice transferring my weight side to side. Once this is comfy, you can even sort of explore transferring your weight and balancing. Transfer your weight and balance. This is a little trickier. Don't worry if you can't do this. I just want you to get the idea of transferring your weight. Now let's add speed to our weight transfer. Left foot, right foot, left foot. And as you can see, when I transfer my weight to my right foot, I go left. When I transfer my weight to my left foot, I go right. We're gonna be applying the same signs to our monster turn. Let's get into turning. So, step one, you have to get some speed because it's a turn. This is a great turn for fast speed, fast-paced. Because it's so much easier and less technical than other ways to turn and stop, this is actually a really good one to have in your pocket for fast-paced, out of control. Step two is to make the shape of an A, a wide stance, a slight A. I told you about the kids that sort of were naturally teaching themselves. I'm not sure they did the A shape, but for the A-frame turn, for the technical aspect of learning this turn, you do want to be in a slight shape of an A. It puts your feet in the right position, and when you make that slight shape of an A, you're already sort of applying pressure that's kind of slowing you down, breaking you. Arms. When we teach this at the skate school, we put our arms out in front and turn our body with the turn. And I think this is kind of so your shoulders turn, your body turns, you lean, because as your shoulders turn, you're gonna turn. So I want you to learn with your arms, and if you feel silly with your arms like this out in the world, you don't have to have your arms up, but we're gonna do it with arms. So I got speed, A shape, arms. The next part, your weight transfer, which luckily we already practiced. Look to the right, pressure the left. As you can see, I'm turning, but it's also a way to stop. Speed, A shape, arms, look to the left and pressure the right. Turning left. It's super beginner friendly. It's also stress-free because it's not as technical, it's not as hard. So it's a really good one, especially if you end up going fast-paced and getting out of control. The main thing is to have the space to do it though. But if you don't have the space, you can still use that weight transfer idea sort of to slow down. So I don't have the space for a monster turn, but I can kind of transfer my weight to sort of slow down. So it does work. In smaller spaces, it's just gonna be trickier. It's not gonna have that easy aspect. Now I wanna talk about monster turns on hills. So the safest and best way to make turns down a hill is definitely your parallel turns because they're sharper and they give you more control and better for tight spaces. But I get it, parallel turns are hard. So a monster turn is a beginner-friendly way to re-grab your control on a hill. Now don't get me wrong, I don't recommend that beginners skate on hills. If you're a beginner, go to flat ground. But as a street skater, as a beginner, you might end up on a hill. So a monster turn is a beginner-friendly way to make turns down a hill. So you'll go wide stance, shape of an A, transfer your weight, back and forth down the hill. Now this is better for a gentle hill. Once it gets steep, it's gonna be really hard. And the parallel turn is gonna be much better. But it's something to keep in mind maybe for going down a gentle hill or to just regain control. I'm gonna go back up where it's a little steeper. The sweeping motion of the turn is gonna help you regain and stay in control. You can even notice I almost stand all the way up on one foot. I'm lifting my inside foot. And this is gonna set you up. This weight transfer is the stepping stones to learning these parallel turns, which is really what you wanna be learning for hills. Now, if you wanna know more about parallel turns, I actually have a full-length video on how to parallel turn, and I also have a full-length video on how to go downhill safely, and I include monster turns in that video. But I hope that this monster turn video today at least gave you the tools that you need to sort of maintain your control while you're out street skating and have that sense of security, that safety net. The A-frame turn or monster turn is a lifesaver when you're learning how to skate. It's effective, simple, and it's a great one to know to help you build your confidence. So now it's time for you to put on your skates, give it a try. Let me know how it goes. I'll see you guys next time. Woo! Oh gosh.